Well, good afternoon, everyone. Um, it is an honor to be here today to share some very exciting news for the city of Cleveland and the surrounding areas. But before we get started, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nicole Ward, and I am the proud mother of our Cleveland Browns cornerback, Denzel Ward. I also have the privilege of serving as the executive director of the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation, which is a heart health foundation that Denzel created shortly after entering the National Football League. Denzel founded the organization in honor of his dad, driven by the passion to use his platform to raise awareness about heart health, CPR training, and the life-saving importance of an automatic external defibrillator, also known as AEDs. The mission of the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation is deeply personal, but not just for us, but for the many who have lost loved ones to a disease that remains the leading cause of death in the United States, and that statistics show that half of those deaths are directly associated with sudden cardiac arrest. Denzel's father, my late husband, tragically passed away from sudden cardiac arrest at the age of 46 while participating in a spin class. No one effectively performed CPR or used an AED, although it was only 32 steps away. So this is a heartbreaking reality that could have changed the outcome. Since the foundation launched in 2019, we have been committed to ensuring that no other family experiences this preventable loss. Through collaborations with individuals and organizations and community partnerships, we have worked hard to increase the heart health awareness and provide education, resources, and training to help save lives. Since its inception, the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation has made an incredible impact in Cleveland and beyond. To date, we have successfully trained over 35,000 people in CPR and AED use, empowering them with confidence to act in an emergency. We have provided life-saving resources, hand-only CPR training and AED machines to schools, gyms, churches, and community centers across Ohio, where they are most needed. We've hosted signature community events like Cleveland All-Star Fitness Expo, Pop-Up in the Park, and this Saturday's Fitness Under the Lights, drawing over 25,000 participants in a single year, making heart health education not just necessary, but engaging and accessible to all. We've hosted an annual free youth skills camp, which last year expanded to include youth flag football showcase. Before the interactive skill training with Denzel begins, all 400 attendees and their families receive vital information about heart health, including a live demonstration on performing CPR and using an AED. We've also launched the 21 Families campaign, helping 21 families and businesses by addressing their most urgent needs during the pandemic, including mortgages, medical bills, utility payments, and more. Maintaining a strong commitment to underserved communities, ensuring they have access to the attention and resources needed to bridge health disparities. We have joined the NFL Smart Heart Coalition, partnering with others to improve outcomes of sudden cardiac arrest in youths nationwide. But one of our most proudest accomplishments has been advocating for House Bill 47, which is now law. This landmark legislation ensures that every school in Ohio, both public and private, along with recreational facilities, will be equipped with AEDs, emergency preparedness plans, and mandatory CPR and AED training for staff and coaches. This law ensures that there are no more missed opportunities. It protects our children, our communities, and our future. These milestones aren't just statistics. They represent lives saved, families kept whole, and futures preserved. At the heart of it all, it is a simple truth. No one should lose their life because help wasn't there or the resources wasn't there that was needed. Today, we are thrilled to announce the next step in our commitment in heart health. In partnership with Avive Solutions, we are donating 100 Avive AEDs to local nonprofit community organizations, small businesses, churches, and others in need of life-saving equipment. This initiative represents a $150,000 investment by the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation in the health and safety of Cleveland area community, ensuring these devices are available where and when they are needed most. By leading the way in making the life-saving technology accessible, we are positioning Cleveland and Ohio at the forefront of protecting lives from sudden cardiac arrest. What if we could save just one life with these devices? What if we could save 100 lives with these devices? Imagine the ripple effect this initiative could have. This is not just about technology. It's about empowering our community to be ready, to be confident, and to make the difference when it matters most. So Cleveland, we are leading the charge in heart health, ensuring no one is left helpless in an emergency. This partnership with Avive puts Cleveland at the forefront of life-saving innovation, setting the standards for cities across the nation. And this is just the beginning. Our mission doesn't stop here. We are committed to building a future where heart health is a priority for everyone and where communities are equipped to protect and save lives. So join us in this mission because together we are unstoppable. And now to tell you more about the revolutionary AED technology and how it will protect our community, I am pleased to introduce Mayor Berkman, Vice President of Strategy and Business Development for Avive.
Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Denzel, and thank you to everybody who's involved in the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation. The Cleveland community is unbelievably lucky to have this type of a foundation in the community. Most places are not so lucky. And part of the mission of our organization here at Avive is to seek out these individuals who care so passionately about the issue of sudden cardiac arrest and who have unfortunately been personally touched by the issue of sudden cardiac arrest. And to harness that tragedy to do good for the world and make sure that, or do our best to make sure that nobody else has to suffer the type of tragedy that this family did. As Nicole mentioned, my name is Mayor Berkman, and I'm the Vice President of Strategy and Business Development at Avive Solutions. I'm also a paramedic, and I've been a volunteer EMS provider for over a decade now. I've had the opportunity of treating many cardiac arrest patients, and the unfortunate nature of cardiac arrest is that the vast majority of those patients that I've had the opportunity to treat have not survived. And we know that the primary reason, the primary enemy of survival when it comes to the issue of sudden cardiac arrest is time. For every minute that somebody doesn't receive critical intervention with CPR and with an AED, and they've experienced a sudden cardiac arrest, there's upwards of a 10% reduction in survivability for that patient. And when we take into account that the average response time of EMS organizations across the United States can span more than 8 to 10 or 12 minutes, you can do the math on your own and realize the likelihood that those patients have to go back to their families and to keep their families whole. At Avive, we've made it our mission to give people the technology to empower people with the devices necessary to be able to treat patients quickly, effectively, efficiently, and give them the best possible chance at survival. Because we know that a patient's best chance at living is actually not me as a paramedic. It is the person that witnesses them collapse, taking action right away, starting CPR, getting an AED, placing pads on their chest, delivering a shock, and giving them that early care before any advanced level care is able to get there. Over 350,000 people in the United States suffer a cardiac arrest each year outside of the hospital setting. and 90% of those patients don't live. 10% survival is the number that we've had for many decades now. And Avive sought out on a mission to create a product, to create an AED that delivers defibrillation the same way as we know it works, but to put it into a package that we believe is more likely to be used by people who are around the patient who suffers the cardiac arrest. We don't want it to look like a scary medical device. We don't want it to look like something that only a professional user is able to leverage. We don't want somebody to be afraid to pull it off the wall. We want people to feel comfortable. We want people to know where these devices are. We want people to seek them out. And when they do come across that critical emergency and find that father or that son or that loved one who's experienced a sudden cardiac arrest, we want them to be ready and confident to act right away. But we are a AED manufacturer. We've done incredible things to innovate the space of sudden cardiac arrest, and I am unbelievably proud of all of that work. But the truth is that all of the work that we do would not be successful were it not for partnerships with organizations like the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation. Because the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation is here in Cleveland and knows the community and knows the people and knows the individuals who are suffering and has the ability to reach out and has the ability to leverage relationships like with the Browns and like with others to be able to raise awareness around the issue of sudden cardiac arrest. And nothing that we can do at Avive from an innovation standpoint can possibly replace the unbelievably hard work and dedication that comes from foundations like Make Them Know Your Name. And so today we are unbelievably proud to be able to partner with the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation to hopefully add a shadow of light to the legacy of your late husband, to save one life or to save 100 lives. And I wholeheartedly believe that individuals who are watching this are going to be inspired to go learn CPR, are going to be inspired to request an AED, are going to be inspired to take action. And just from what we're doing here today, we're going to be able to save someone. And so we're unbelievably thankful. We're unbelievably proud. We could not be more excited, and for that we are eternally grateful to you. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you to the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation.
Thank you. With that, we are also very thrilled to have with us today 3 recipients of these donated AEDs. The first I'd like to highlight is Care Circle. Care Circle is a mental health facility that has been serving the city of Cleveland for over 20 years. This facility is dedicated to supporting a population that is often overlooked. And its staff truly acts as the first responders when medical emergencies arise. Their commitment to mental health and emergency care makes their work indispensable to the community. Next, we would also like to acknowledge Welcome House, who will be a recipient of this AED, an organization committed to helping individuals with developmental disabilities help them to lead full and rewarding lives. Currently, they are serving 200 residents. Welcome House is deeply committed to excellence in both safety and care, ensuring that every individual they support is protected and empowered. And the third organization that I would like to highlight of the 100 is lastly Beat the Streets. Cleveland is an organization that uses the sport of wrestling to mentor and develop underserved youth. With its focus on intense physical activity, they shared with us the critical need for an AED at their facility because their facility currently lacks one, despite the physical demands of the sport. So these organizations are now outfitted with the state-of-the-art Avive AEDs. They now have the knowledge of how to use them in case of emergency and comfort in knowing that their people, their participants, their congregants will be safer. We are so grateful for these organizations that they have raised their hands and shared their stories with us and care so deeply about the community that they've requested an AED for their facility. Our partners here will be available for photos and questions before you leave today, so please make sure that you meet them here, hear their stories, and learn more about their wonderful organization. At this time, I am thrilled to introduce Val Woods, Val is from Euclid, Ohio, and she is a certified CPR trainer, and she is a fantastic partner of the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation. Val, if you can come on up. Val is going to share with us a little bit about the importance of CPR and AED, how to use it in the event of a sudden cardiac arrest.
Hi, my name is Val Woods with Val Woods CPR. I've been a nurse of 18 years. I began teaching CPR in 2022. It was in 2018, my first time sharing this story, so please bear with me. It was in 2018 when my brother left my house on Veterans Day. He was a Navy veteran, and he had my nephews with him. They went home, he dropped them off, thank God, and then he decided he needed to go to the grocery store. He was in his car in the grocery store parking lot with his girlfriend in the car. He went into cardiac arrest. She knew to call 911 and wait, and my brother didn't make it. And he was just at my house 2 hours prior, and my first question was like, why didn't it happen at my house? Like, I don't know. So would he still be here? Who knows? Like, I don't know. But I spent 2 years very upset and angry. I'm just being honest. And then I was like, what can I do? What can I do? And my sons kept saying, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So as a nurse, I went and brought a mannequin. And I just started going to the parks and saying to people, would you like to know how to do CPR? I thought everybody would want to know because, you know, of the experience that I had, and it was hard. And so I was like, well, what would you do if your friend went down right now? They were like, I would call 911. And we were at the park. I'm like, do you think you could get a signal right now? How long do you think it would take for EMS to find you here? And I begged, and then finally they were like, okay, let's just do it so we can get our game back going. And so they learned how to do CPR compressions is what I taught them, compression only CPR. And so CPR is basically compressions of the chest and like rescue breaths if you know how to do them. But if you don't know how to do rescue breaths for an adult and older teen, you can do what they call compression only, bystander only, or hands only CPR, all the same thing. Yes. So, the first thing you want to do is protect yourself, right? So you need to check the scene for safety. So before you go run to someone that suddenly collapses, you would check the scene for safety to make sure you remain safe so that you don't get hurt. So we check the scene for safety. Then before you go like pounding on their chest, you would tap and shout, are you okay? Are you okay? At this point, they're not responding to you, they're unresponsive. You would say specifically to somebody, what's your name? Jeffrey, you call 911, get the AED. And then you would check for breathing. If they're not breathing, you would go ahead and unzip because you know that AED is coming. And you would use the heel of your hand on the center of their chest between the nipples. And you would interlock your fingers and right straight over, no bent elbows, go down 2 inches deep at a rate of 100 to 120 beats a minute, allowing for chest recoil. That means allowing the chest to come back up to its original position, which allows that good oxygenated blood to continue to flow throughout the body. And as soon as the AED is available, you would apply the AED because the AED with chest compressions could double or triple a person's chances of survival. And while they're applying the AED pad, if someone comes to help you, you would continue to compress. You would not stop your compression. If you're alone, then you would, of course, stop compressions if they didn't know how to use the AED. The AEDs are simple to use. Just turn it on and follow the prompt. The AEDs walk you through everything you need to know.
Powered on. Training
electrode pads we're going to place on the patient's chest. There's pictures showing you where to put them.
Expose
You don't have to
the
think very
patient's
much.
bare chest, including bra.
And we're going to put them on while she continues to do compressions.
Once the patient's chest is exposed, peel open the package you pulled. Patient detected. Do not touch the patient
take
or
our hands off
pads.
the patient.
Analyzing heart rhythm.
And the device is looking to see if it needs to deliver a
Do
shock to
not
this
touch
patient.
the patient or pads. Analyzing heart rhythm. Shock is advised. Move away from the patient now.
Stand back.
Stand back. Delivering shock in 3, 2, 1. Shock delivered.
And now the device is going to
It
give
is
us
now
instructions
safe
to start
touch the
CPR.
patient.
So we're going to come
Let's
back
begin
on.
CPR. Stack both of your hands on the center of the patient's chest.
And you'll hear a metronome.
If
The
patient
device is
under
telling
8
you
years
what
old,
beat to be able to
one
give those
hand for
compressions.
compressions. Start compressing hard and fast on each beat. Push, push, push.
And a rescuer would keep doing this until the patient either becomes responsive or until emergency help arrives and tells them to do something else. And as soon as the
Keep
emergency is
your arms
over,
straight.
we would just turn the device off like this.
Powering
It's
off.
gonna come off. And you'll notice that on the screen of the AED, there's a little QR code. And that QR code allows emergency responders to scan it and be able to see a EKG for that patient. And that EKG is the entire clinical history of that patient during the course of the emergency, allowing EMTs, paramedics, and physicians who are going to treat that patient later on to have all of the information about what happened to be able to give them the best possible care. That was incredible, Val.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful demonstration. So that is how you effectively perform CPR and how to use an AED, in this case, the Avive AED. We want to thank everyone for coming out today, but we also want to just send a special thank you of appreciation to the Browns organization and allowing us to be able to host today's press conference here at the facility. I would like to invite Jenner, if you don't mind, if you would please come up to the stage. Jenner, a special thank you to you for your partnership, your support. Again, to the Browns organization, on behalf of the Make Them Know Your Name Foundation and Avive, we would like to donate to the Browns organization your very own Avive AED. We're hoping that you would use that for your mobile vehicle that I know you do a lot of children, community outreach events, or however you may see fit. But again, we just really appreciate your partnership, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much.
Oh.
The Cleveland Browns are so thrilled to work with nonprofit organizations and players who care so much about our community, the young lives that we can touch, the parents, the coaches, and so many other individuals who need our support. And Nicole, you have been a trailblazer, and we're just so proud of everything you're doing and continue to do with Denzel. And we're here to support you, and this is going to go a long way. We have a community vehicle that's out in the community, youth football programs, schools, everywhere. So this will come in good use. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And that's it. So we ask, if you don't mind, if you would stick around. If you have any questions, we are here to answer questions and take photos. But again, we appreciate you being here today.